Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Saggies in mid-January? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in mid-January. What's the vibe as we continue to start off this next calendar year? A lot happening in the world today, but let's see how the energy looks for you, my good friends. Okay, big long-term thinking type of energy showing up for you initially. Now, this is actually one of my favorite cards in this whole entire Oracle deck because although the image that it shows might seem very simplistic, not much is really happening, it's not too overly packed with symbolism, it implies something bigger. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the back end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as pardon me, as you can see, we have this individual here kind of dressed up in costume, and he's being led along by these white doves. We have these birds, and they're kind of holding strings and guiding this person along. There's a lot of spiritual depth to this card. Now, in divination and in spiritual symbolism, white birds can represent innocence, it can represent peace, it could represent spirit. So think of guides, guardian angels, your spirit team, ancestors. And I just love how it seems like they're guiding this person through their journey. Now, the reason I said this is more big picture, because when I see this card, I don't think we're just looking at this week's energy. Generally, to me, it represents the big journey, not just what we're doing now, but what have we done in the past? What do we want to do in the future? We're looking at life's journey as a whole when this card is here. Of course, it's beautiful for the spiritual protection and guidance. So for a lot of you, maybe that's just the message you need to hear today from Spirit. Like, hey, we're with you. Even if you don't see us, even if you don't feel us, we're helping you. We're guiding you subtly, quietly. Because notice, this guy doesn't see all that stuff going on over his head. So that's a nice thing. But then we have this forward movement as well, which I also really like. So for some Saggies, maybe you're just ready to get something going. So we're just going to put him right over there, keep going about his journey. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Saggy. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Your reading was titled An Explosive Situation. Now, you weren't alone with that type of vibe. All the fire signs and some of the other signs had very similar energies where there was just a lot of fire energy where things could really intensify quickly. It's very hot and heavy. Now, explosive doesn't always mean bad. Like, it could just be something that intensifies quickly, and that could be in a good way for some of you. But sometimes explosive energy could get a little out of hand. So hopefully nothing like that happened for you. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Saggy. What do we got for our good friends? Yeah, that was the big energy last week where it's like energy is just flaring up out of the blue. Okay, death card, don't get concerned about that. Starting with a potential ending, it's fine. To me, this is scorpionic energy, so I never get freaked out by the death card whatsoever. Let's get a couple more. To me, it's not even an area of concern. Okay, we got our good pal here, the King of Cups, so we have a lot of water energy showing up here, Saggy. Let's get one more for you. Let's see what's happening. Thank you. Okay, 10 of Cups. All water. So this has been a theme, again, for all the fire signs where there's been a lot of water this week. So that does kind of cool back, tone back the fire. But we have some differences. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always like to look at the elements. And This week, you have one element showing up here in the main part of the spread, which sometimes could be a little lopsided. We'll explore that further. But you have all water sign energy. Even though the death card doesn't look like water, it technically is. Now, the realm of water is the internal realm. It's feelings and emotions. It's things or people that we're emotionally invested in or care for. There's a lot of emotion tied to something when there's three water cards, and they all present in very different ways. Now, if I were to say, do I feel great or down about this? There's a lot more positive here than there is challenge. That's a good thing. But this water energy can be very up and down, right? It could be an energy that's a little up in the air. It could be an energy that's in flux, in a state of change. It's not very solid as of yet. So we're going to have to see how it all plays. It's great for any sort of creative pursuit or creative endeavor, especially if you're feeling a lot of intense things, like Spirit might be telling you, like, hey, Sag, you need a little outlet for all this. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece, because like they do share all that internal energy, and water can also represent people we're connected to, but they're vastly different in how they present themselves. So let's go through and build this out. Position number one, we have the death card. Now, as I already mentioned, that's Scorpio energy to me. And I'll tell you this card gets demonized like you wouldn't believe, right? Like anytime you see a show or a movie or any sort of media where there's a tarot reader or a fortune teller, they are going to pull the death card. It always happens, right? Like, oh, yeah, big, yeah, spooky, scary. To me, it's not that. So for some of you, maybe you have some Scorpio placements. Maybe you're connected to Scorpio, right? They are your zodiacal neighbor. If that's not the case, death, of course, whenever we hear the word, it's going to trigger something in our subconscious mind. But when I see this, I think of change. This isn't the last card of the tarot deck. So I think of transformation. So whereas some people might see this card as a dead end, I see this as a potential to shift energy in a big way. Think of a phoenix rising from the ashes, remaking itself. Now, does that mean that this can't represent endings? Sure, it can, right? We're all always going through beginnings and endings in different ways. So when I see the death card, it's like, all right, yeah, we'll close one chapter, open up the next. So yeah, maybe there is some sort of ending we'll look at, but that's not where the story ends, obviously, with all these cards. Aside from the Scorpio, aside from all that, and me giving my little speech about why the death card gets demonized, it is also karmic. It can deal with the spiritual side. So again, just like with that first oracle card, we do have this tie to the spiritual that we want to look at. And it could just represent karmic cycles of life, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows. So we'll see what's up with that. Now, moving to the center, the energy does lighten up in a big way, whereas death, even though it's not a bad card, it is intense, it is heavy. In the center, we got our good pal, our good friend, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard. He has a goblet. He looks happy. He's enjoying himself, right? Now, again, if you're not connected to a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, kings represent control of their respective suit. So when there's a water heavy spread like we have this week, the King of Cups is kind of what we want to see, because it's like, I'm balancing this. I'm balancing this energy. I'm balancing that energy. I'm trying to keep it very neutral. So for a lot of you, you might be practicing mindfulness, or you might just be in a very neutral place about something, or spirit wants you to get there. Now, the King of Cups can also represent the biggest expression of love. So someone or something you really, really care deeply for, or just something where I'm fully emotionally invested. So normally I like this King of Cups. To me, I think of wins and blessings whenever he shows up, because it's like, all right, this makes me happy. I feel great about this. What might be the downside, though? Because remember, every card has a downside. King of Cups in reverse can represent loss of emotional control. So especially with the way the energy goes up and down throughout the reading, King of Cups is like a little wild, a little sporadic, which is kind of what we were tapping into last week. King of Cups in reverse can also represent somebody overindulging, drinking a lot and stuff like that. Not just saying that's it. So we'll keep a very close eye on the King of Cups. But for now, he feels okay. Moving to the back end, huge love connector too. So for those of you going through relationship things, but the ten of Cups, one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. And we see it, the happy family, they got the rainbow, they're at a house, and they're just enjoying the beautiful day outside. So this is a wish fulfillment card. Now, in tarot and numerology, tens can represent the close of a cycle. So notice, we start here, that could be a close of the cycle. This one can also be a close of the cycle. So notice on either side of the king, it's like we have this one and then this one. They do oppose each other and kind of balance each other out. So there could be various situations going on, Sachi, where they kind of cancel each other out, where it's like, that's the good, that's not so good. They kind of cancel. I don't know why that's coming through. But of course, whenever I see this, I think of wins, victories, and blessings. Like, this is something that makes me really happy. This is something I've always wanted. So for some of you, there is potential for something really fantastic to happen. The downside of the Ten of Cups is similar to the theme we saw with the King. 10 cups flipped upside down, that's a lot of emotion. That's a lot of water. So when it's feeling something, it feels it times two, times three. So we do want to take a look at it and see what's happening, because there are a few themes showing up within the reading. But we're just going to put that 10 of cups right here. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Sagi. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the death card. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get to Sagi, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, death card time. What is it? What is this death card? Thank you. Okay. This energy is like resisting change, resisting a shift, fighting the tide, so to speak. Like, it's like fighting against the current. It's like I'm in a body of water and the water's flowing this way, but I'm pushing against it. So again, I'm not saying that's you. That's how the emotion, that's how it feels to me. And I always tell people when I do personals for them, I experience energy like water. And that's how this feels. It's like the water is going this way, but I'm pushing this way. So there is this resistance, like somebody that's like fighting against something or just pushing against the tide, so to speak, which is really unique to me. Now, the Four of Pentacles is an energy that is not wanting to let go of something. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this is full on grudge, beware, beware, watch out. I mean, we'll see what else shows up within the reading itself. But when I see death with the Four of Pentacles, it's like I'm still holding on to something. So whether it was an ending, whether it was a situation, whether something is changing and it's like I'm fighting against it. I don't want it to change. I want it to be this way. So I'm not sure how and why that might apply to whatever it is you're going through. You can't always be in the flow state. You can't always be in a state of perfect balance. But this energy is actively fighting. That's what I'm saying. Like with the Four of Pentacles under here, it's actively resisting, actively fighting, and pushing against the current. So we're going to keep going. It's like, oh yeah, this wants to change. I'm not going to let it. Or this wants to end. No, it's not over. It's not over yet. So that could be good for some. I guess it depends, right? Let's keep going. I'm not gonna say it's grudgy. I mean, there could be someone in their feelers that could be a little pissed, but let's keep going. Let's see what else shows up, because I feel like it's way too early to tell. So why is the King of Cups here? Why is the King of Cups here? You see, the energy itself, I don't want to say annoys me, but what it's showing and what it's doing are two different things, right? Like, it's incongruent. Like, to me, it's like the actions aren't meeting the words. So for some of you, watch out for any situations or individuals or people where it's like, all right, something's not adding up here, where it's like the actions aren't adding to the words. Like, they're saying this, but they're doing this. Like, there's just something about it where it doesn't make sense to me. And I think that's part of the message. Now, the Five of Pentacles, usually in the reverse, is the way we do want to receive it, right? Because in the upright, this is someone feeling pretty damn bad, right? It's an energy that could feel solitude, loneliness, out in the cold, really missing someone or something. It's like, damn, I miss that person. In reverse, the energy's getting better, but it's still lingering. But the way it presents to me when I see the King of Cups with this in reverse underneath it, it's like I'm acting like it's fine, but it's really not. So I am starting to get a very specific warning for some of you. Obviously, not all of you. I do feel like this could be an important warning for some Saggies out there. This is someone that might be like, yeah, no, I forgive you, but they really don't. Or, no, yeah, I'm over it, but they're really not. Like, it's giving me that kind of energy where somebody is still holding on to something, and they're still feeling it, and it does feel borderline. I don't want to say it's like vindictive. I don't want to say that it's like someone aggressively out to get you, but there is that bitterness here. I don't want to say it's full blown jealousy, but there's like a little bitterness showing up. And you know me, I'm always going to tell you how it feels to me. And I know there's thousands and thousands of Saggies out there, millions even, But yeah, the way this energy feels to me, it just doesn't line up. So watch out for any situations where the actions don't match the words, and watch out for anyone. It's like, yeah, no, we could be best friends now, but no, they're still pissed. They're mad about something. What's going on the Ten of Cups? What's going on? Yeah, it's like angry, mad, but trying to not show it, if that makes sense. Like playing nice. All right, what's going on the Ten of Cups? And we'll do a quick little recap. I feel like I'm getting too hyper specific this week. So let's go in on the 10. Thank you. Okay. You know, I am a big believer in the power of a positive mindset. I am. But sometimes that's not enough. Okay. I'm just being honest with you and no attacking anybody. But when I see the 10 of cups with the 4 of cups in reverse, this is somebody trying to be positive. It's like, I'm trying. I'm trying to see this overall. I'm trying to stay positive, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. You know, I'm also a big believer that your internal state is what attracts certain things into your life. You're always going to be a vibrational match to whatever your frequency is, which is your internal state. So when I see the 10 of cups with the 4 of cups in reverse, it's like, think happy thoughts. Don't pay attention to all this. Don't pay attention to that. We're just looking at that. This is what I want. And that is a good thing, like looking at the best and trying to, reach your optimal goals. That's always a great thing. Stay happy, stay positive. I'm a huge believer in it. But sometimes there's other gunk that needs to get cleared out before you could fully get into that mode, if that makes sense. Because with all this energy here, it's like energetic gunk. This energy can be pulled in, but this is just going to delay it. Now, the Four of Cups is strong when it comes to the mindset. And of course, yes, it could be a card of daydreaming, fantasizing in one's mind. When I see it in reverse underneath the 10 of cups, it's like, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. I'm gonna think this away. Like if I just fix my mind or fix how I view something, that'll solve it. And I think that's only part of the solve, if that makes sense. And again, I'm not saying like don't think positive, don't be optimistic. That's super important. It really is. But there's other stuff that needs to be figured out or worked through before this is like the main meal ticket, so to speak. Let's go through and do a quick recap, and then we'll get into the shadow. I would say overall, this could either be an emotional warning or an important one, just with the way the energy plays off of each other. But if you look here in the box, position one, we have the death card with the 4 of pentacles, and this to me felt like someone fighting against the tide, fighting the good fight, where it's like, you know what, the water's going this way, but I want to go this way. It also gave me that vibe where it's like, all right, well, you want me to do this, we're not doing that. Or you want this to end, no, it's not ending yet. You want this to change, nope, nothing's changing. Like this is an energy that's very set and fighting against something. There is an energetic resistance. It's not in flow. Moving to the center, we have the King of Cups with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And to me, it doesn't feel congruent, where it's like someone's actions and words are different, where like what they say is different from what they do, or what they're thinking is different from what they actually do. It's like all mixed up like that, where there could be somebody still holding on to certain things, feelings, situations, and it's like, no, I'm fine, don't worry about it, everything's good, we're friends again, or everything's perfect. But really there's an energy underneath the surface that still needs to get cleared away. Moving to the back end, we have the 10 of cups with the 4 of cups in reverse. Yeah, someone trying to be positive, trying to, keep the mind right and see the outline, and that is a good thing to do. But this, whatever this situation is that's showing up, like you can't just think it away. You can't just like use the power of positive thinking to just make it disappear. Like this needs to get solved in a more direct manner, then get into that mode. So please take a screenshot. We do have a couple little warnings here emotionally, but let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the Saggies, please? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's go. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card going. Thank you. Oh, there we go. We'll take it. Yeah, so I'm not surprised that we have more cups showing up here. The vast majority of the spread today was water energy, and even in the shadows, that's what we have. Now, the Page of Cups does tie closely to new things, learning, and also communication. This one in specific, compared to all the other pages, is very important for speaking your mind. So when I see it in the shadows, it's one of two things. The most optimistic thing, this could be a talk or conversation you weren't expecting to have. That could come due to an effect of all these energies. But at the same time, it's also something that spirit doesn't want you to suppress. So similar to what we saw within the reading itself, like there's something where it's like you need to touch on it, or you need to say it, you need to speak it. Because if you don't speak it, it's going to stay there. So that's how this Page of Cups feels to me. Either it's a talk that comes in out of the blue, or it's something being suppressed and spirit doesn't want you to push it down, wants you to get the hands dirty. So we're just going to put it down right there. Saggy, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or if you'd like to see what 2026 has in store for you, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The January schedule's already up, so you could go check it out and see what's available. It's going quick, but for the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's absolutely adorable and is great for readers of all skill levels. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments from today's reading, which card spoke to you the most. Even if the reading didn't quite hit, which card was giving you those warm and fuzzies or really caught your attention. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.